Hello and welcome back to the course on business statistics, and today we're talking about the sampling distribution. So previously we left off here where we discussed that there's a population and then we can take samples in order to estimate the parameters of the population. However, not always taking samples is useful and can lead to the results that we want. Sometimes there will be situations when just merely having a sample or taking a sample and getting information from that sample is not going to give us the right insights in order to solve the business problem. And in fact, at the end of the section, we'll actually have a look at an actual business problem, which we are not able to solve through just mere sampling, but which we'll need more advanced techniques to solve. And that's exactly what we're preparing here for. In order to prepare ourselves to understand the Central Limit Theorem, we need to discuss one more thing, and that's exactly what we're doing now. We're going to be looking at the sampling distribution. So the sampling distribution sounds similar to sample, but it's actually two very different concepts. And let's have a look at what a sampling distribution implies. So instead of just taking one sample like we see here in red, how about we take several samples from our distribution? So let's take one sample here, and they'll all be the same size with the same number of observations in them. Take another sample here, take another sample over here, and take another sample. And so we just keep taking samples like that. And every time, as you can see, we're recording X bar, which is the mean of the metric that we're looking at for that specific sample. So we take a sample, we look at what the mean is, we record it. We take a sample, we look at what the mean is, and we record it. And so on. And so we keep doing that many, many times. And in the end, we have lots and lots of these values, which are means of the sample. And then what we're going to do is we're going to actually plot those values on a chart. So there's our chart. And whatever result we get from these observations, we're going to plot it on this chart. It'll look something like that. We don't know what it'll look like, so let's put a question mark here before we get too carried away. It will look some sort of distribution, and it'll be called the sampling distribution of the sample mean. I know there's a lot of words that are similar in this, sampling distribution of the sample mean, and it'll actually get even more like that in the further tutorials, but nevertheless, it's important just to understand what we're doing here. We're just taking samples from our population, lots and lots of samples. They can overlap, no problem. But just we're taking all these random samples and we're recording the mean of the metric that we're interested in, and we're writing it down every single time. And then we are plotting that, the probability density function of that. We're coming up with a distribution for that new variable. So now we will have a sampling distribution of the sample mean. Now make sure to check out these videos on the right or the full course in the description to continue your learning, and I look forward to seeing you there.